Hey guys, Red Pen Mining here. Hope you're doing well, having a really great day. This video. Okay, I don't know how to start this video. I don't know. I have a lot of things on my mind right now, and it's just regarding Bitcoin mining and a lot of these devices. You know, I have like an Avalon Q, Fluidminer T3, custom Bitcoin miners. Recently, I just opened up one of these Hydro Octaxes with dual AIOs. Really cool. I actually really like that one a lot. Actually just bought 3 more. Video on that when they come. But I've just been kind of like inundated with like requests from people. Not requests, but like more so like questions based on, you know, should I get into Bitcoin mining? You know, I don't make a lot of money, or maybe I'm someone who's living paycheck to paycheck, and people are asking, you know, Red Panda, can I make a lot of money doing this, you know, Bitcoin mining thing? And my answer to that is no. No, you're not going to make a lot of money Bitcoin mining. You're probably going to lose money. And I just got to be honest with people, and this is kind of what I just want to like express in this video. Don't get me wrong, you know, I love all these types of devices. I know the industry has been having this shift over towards like, you know, solo lottery Bitcoin miners and whatnot, and you know, that in of itself is kind of a grift. I'm going to talk about that as we go along. But yeah, just the question of, you know, am I going to make a lot of money doing this? And probably not. Majority of everyone's electrical prices right now currently is like above 10, 15 cents, 20 cents electric, and power prices are going up. So majority of people at home that want to Bitcoin mine, it's not profitable by any means. It's not profitable at all. I know. I'm probably going to get a lot of the, you know, Bitcoin mining maxis coming out. Red Panda, that's not the point. Profitability is not the point. You know, fundamentally, we got to support the network. You know, we got to keep the hash rate decentralized. You know, I was for all that, you know, at a certain time in my life. And trust me, I get it. I understand all that. But does my wallet understand that? No, it doesn't. Does yours? Yeah, maybe. If you have a good 200 to 500K salary job and you're willing to pay out of pocket to support the network, accumulate Bitcoin, you got the cash flow to do that, you know, your life is all well and good, then obviously that's a great way to accumulate Bitcoin, especially if your time horizon is, you know, a couple years, a decade out, right? And you're accumulating Bitcoin because you know the value is just going to keep going up and to the right, which it has been over the past 10, 11, 12 years now since the inception of Bitcoin. Guys, I don't have any sponsor for today's video or anything, but if you want to support the channel, I actually just recently updated my website, redpandamining.com. And also, if you're interested in buying anything, I am going to be posting a bunch of my, I have a few miners, like two T3s here, Avalon Q, and I am going to post these custom S19K Slim, S21 Slim on my site. I am possibly going to put more stuff because I am getting a few more things in, and I'll post that stuff as well at redpandamining.shop. Anyway, continue on ranting, guys. This is just a rant video. I don't have any special graphics. I never do. I don't have a script. I'm literally looking at what you guys are looking at right now. I never have a script in my videos. Everything I talk is like off the cuff, and I feel like with YouTube, like that's the best way to make videos. You guys can let me know. Anyway, just to kind of like go along with that, what I said in the beginning of everyone asking, you know, Red Panda, can you make a lot of money doing this? The people that I've seen who've been able to make money with all this is people who have been able to mine within their means and invest within their like financial security, mental bandwidth, mental capacity in a way, because doing all this requires attention and, of course, cheap electricity. Maybe you're someone with free power. Maybe you're someone with solar power. Obviously, majority of people can't do Bitcoin mining on solar at a scale because it takes a F ton of solar to, you know, power these things. But you guys know what I mean. For those that I've seen who have had this like crawl, walk, run strategy, which thanks to Mr. Bitsby Trippin for that like analogy, go subscribe to him if you guys haven't already. He doesn't post much stuff, but go follow his X. He's very, very knowledgeable OG in the space of crypto mining. I've learned everything from him. Anyways, just to expand on that crawl, walk, run thing, is that people who have, you know, gotten into mining maybe started off with, you know, a single GPU or maybe a little tiny miner like this, just to get their feet wet and just understanding on how all this works, how to crypto mine, you know, how to point to a mining pool, how to make a Bitcoin wallet, you know, self-custody, you know, learning all this stuff. I found that people who have been able to do that that successfully, they didn't go into it like all in, they didn't spend, hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars getting into it, though I have seen a few people who have been doing that, but they've been able to attain cheaper power. And what I mean like cheaper power is like what, under 5 cents per kilowatt hour, and they're purchasing big boy ASIC miners, for that type of mining at scale, which in of itself kind of, everyone knows that crypto mining is a zero-sum game. So there are going to be winners, there are going to be losers, and it's especially noticeable now where we are in the market, where Bitcoin is like what? Bitcoin is, as of recording, 60K as of recording this, and Bitcoin's hash rate has climbed almost 10 to 12, 11x since 2021. And so Bitcoin's price has not climbed, 10 to 11x. So all the hardware that's out there right now, a lot of people who have been mining because the difficulty has gone up that much, hash rate has been falling recently, but really not that much. And so that's why we've hit this like equilibrium where Bitcoin's price is versus the hash rate and difficulty. The profitability on all these miners, they're not making anything. They're probably breaking even at like sub 8 to 9 to 10 cents electric, not 10 cents, depending, unless you have really efficient hardware, which majority of people don't have. So that's why things have been getting kind of iffy, right? But I know a lot of people we all believe that the market is going to turn around. Everything is going to be much better in the future, but right now it looks like, everything is quite negative, and there's a lot of weakness in the market, and that's what happens when we have these 4-year cycles, bull run, bear markets of crypto mining. This is what happens. And this is why I've been seeing the negativity in which, people that are Bitcoin mining or crypto mining are quitting, right? They can't survive anymore because right now the economy, and there's been massive layoffs happening. A lot of people who have been getting into this type of stuff, they're not able to make any profit right now. So their main thing is just trying to survive. And that's been more so the narrative that I've seen in my perspective, my perception of everything that's been happening. I hear it. As the content creator, I see it. And so it's rough, right? It's rough out there, especially if you are thinking about getting into it. Then normally the strategy actually is, the best time to get in now, when everything is kind of like blood in the streets, which I feel like we haven't hit the bottom yet, but not financial advice. You do what you guys think is best. But I think Bitcoin miner prices haven't really come down yet. And this is kind of, I guess I'm going to segue into just, a lot of these miners, Avalon Q, I don't know, anything, really, anything. All these, Bitcoin miners, solo miners, lottery miners especially, there has definitely been this shift in towards these, because right now, which none of these make any money, right? Unless you hit a Bitcoin block, which is going to be probably like a good less than 10 people over the next 112 years, whenever the last Bitcoin mine is blocked. Manufacturers and resellers are cashing in on, selling these things, right? I know there's tons of people here who are thinking like, people are selling the shovels. The people that sell the shovels are going to be the ones that are making the money. And I feel like that's been more so throughout all of history when it comes to anything, not just crypto mining, but like anything that somebody wants to sell and, somebody wants it for something, they want something out of it. That's the capitalist society that we all live in. And, I'm in the middle of it, right? I'm sent these types of products from resellers, manufacturers for review, and I do these reviews to showcase to everybody. So we got people who really want to support the Bitcoin network, maybe people who want to, mine a few sats here and there. They want to tinker or just keep on learning about Bitcoin mining because they like it. In a way, it helps adoption and all that stuff, but then I get the other side of it. There are people who are, how do I say it? Not like, I feel like I'm in that realm. I'm not in the realm of like learning or doing anything like that, right? I wouldn't go out of my way. And actually, I just lied. I bought 3 of these with my own money the other day. So maybe I'm kind of in both camps. But this other camp I'm talking about is like those that are kind of like have been into crypto mining for like more than 2 or 3 cycles now. And they're just like, I don't know, desensitized by all this. And like they see the next grift in which like, these lottery miners are the next thing that people are making money on, like the resellers, manufacturers. It's just to get people to buy it, right? Because majority of people are not going to hit a block with these. Okay, there's millions of people out there with these types of devices. It's not just Octaxe is, but like what I mean like is like Bitaxe is, NerdQaxe++ is, this fan broke if you guys are wondering, and the hammer miners, there's so many of these types of devices out there. It's kind of getting overwhelming. Well, for me it is, because I'm the one who's reviewing all this type of stuff. So I see the sides, I see both sides, okay, and it's just the way the world works. You have to pay to play. And if you want to take that risk in, trying to hit a Bitcoin block, or, buy thousands of Bitcoin miners and, get that reoccurring income with lower power costs, there's tons of different plays that a lot of people do in the crypto mining realm, and it's bigger than all of us, right? That's the permissionless network that we have. Anyone can participate, anyone can join. And, I think that's really powerful, and we can all sit here and to agree or disagree whether or not, people that are selling these, it's just to make money. Well, I think everyone here that is into crypto mining, any of you guys that are watching my video right now, you're all here to make money. Let's not kid ourselves, okay? So I don't want to, I don't want to be a hypocrite or, anything like that. But what I'm saying is that everyone that's, also trying to make their way, trying to make their money as well, there's another person on the other side, maybe a company, a person who started a company, and, they're also trying to make money as well, just like you. And maybe you're going to take that risk and start a company as well. You guys know what I mean. I get it, and I see both angles from many people who have been in this realm right now in crypto mining. Another big thing that's I don't know. I personally don't care. Honestly, I don't have the mental capacity for it, but the whole argument, or I guess conversation regarding open source versus, I guess, closed source, okay? And you know what? I gotta change my battery. Give me a sec. Okay. The whole thing about, open source, closed source, everyone knows these lucky miners are closed sourced. And so, honestly, there's a whole thing about it. I don't know. I understand arguments on both sides, and personally, I don't care for it, to be honest. I know a lot of people love open source ability and, wanting to be able to do certain things to it. And I just got one of these LV08s. This is actually pretty cool, but it's only 7 terahash for like 150 watts. Yeah, I don't think this is good. LV8 Pro. Anyway, depending on the price, I don't know how much this thing is, but yeah, there's this whole thing that's going on with arguments about closed sourced, open source, and to be honest, I could really care less. To me, to be honest, as long as it can mine Bitcoin, and maybe some people have been able to dive into the firmware, make sure it's not doing anything malicious. I've done that. Like, I've took a Bitmain miner, which is a closed source software, right? Bitmain ASIC miners. And I wanted to make sure there was no dev fee. So I did Wireshark, I did pfSense. I took the logs of all the IP addresses and packets and everything, read it in Wireshark, made sure no IP addresses. It wasn't like communicating with anything outside. And I'm no expert at that, okay? There's people that are way more qualified than I am to do stuff like that. But you guys know what I'm saying. Until, someone finds out that like Lucky Miner or even Hammer Miner, right? Hammer Miner, another closed sourced operating system firmware, like nobody's willing, it's not open source, so you can't see, inside of it, see the software and see what they could potentially do. Maybe they're keylogging, or I don't know, gonna scan your network and put malware into all your things. I don't know. I think that's what a lot of people have that fear of, right, regarding closed source and whatnot. But to be honest, why would any of these, kind of companies want to do that? Have firmware that's like compromised and attack people's network? I don't think many companies want to do that. I don't know. You guys let me know. But the whole, argument regarding open source, closed source, I know there's more to it, but frankly, I just I don't have the brain capacity or time to argue or care for it. Wow, okay, my battery is, I had to change it again. Okay, so where was I? Yeah, so this video is too long, guys. Let me know if you're still watching. Hit that like and all that stuff. There's just been this change, I think, with Bitcoin mining, and kind of like how we've hit this like diminishing return. Like right now, like all these big miners aren't making anything, and I get the whole mining and accumulating, paying your electrical bill out of pocket, but when you're paying more for electricity than you are mining the yields of Bitcoin, you might as well just take that money, like turn off the rig and just spend that money instead on buying Bitcoin, because you're going to be getting a lot more Bitcoin. So hence the whole like diminishing return thing that's been happening with Bitcoin, and what I talked about earlier, how the hash rate for Bitcoin has climbed so much that there's so much hardware out there, and how Bitcoin or crypto mining is a zero-sum game. There's going to be winners, there's going to be losers, in a sense in which, you know, depending on your electrical cost, a lot of this hardware, it just ain't profitable anymore. We ain't making more than what is above your electricity cost, which in my opinion matters the most. Again, I'm probably going to have people respond, say, Panda, but decentralization and, you know, supporting the network and, you know, all this good stuff. Guys, I'm all for it. But at the end of the day, it's your wallet that is going to, you know, if you got bills, you got, you know, family to feed, you know, there's other priorities. Okay. And I'm not saying that, you know, Bitcoin mining is like the end all be all here, or don't care about Bitcoin, but, you know, it's coming to that point right now where there's people, a lot of people that are in distress. You know, hash rate's turning off. You can see the hash rate for Bitcoin is starting to go down. And, you know, again, I'm getting the emails, I'm getting the people who are telling me, Red Panda, you know, I can't mine anymore. I gotta shut off, or, you know, I gotta sell my miners, or, you know, all this stuff. Like it just doesn't make any sense, pun intended. And, you know, it's getting to that point. And, you know, I feel for the people who are in this crypto mining realm. For all you guys that are watching me, I mean, you guys know I've been in this for the past 8 years. And again, it goes to the whole thing of like what BBT said. It's a crawl, walk, run type of strategy, in which, you know, you just want to like mine within your means, within your financial situation. You don't want to like over leverage yourself when it comes to like mining and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, this shift that's happening. Another thing that's happening is like hydro mining, okay, water cooling, not this type of hydro. This is the Octaxe Hydro revision 3.1 I just reviewed. I love this thing. I love how it looks. It's not very efficient, but I love how it looks. So I did buy 3 more of these, and I'm just gonna place them around my house. I am getting like 13.8 terahash on this thing, so that's pretty cool. Anyways, there is this shift happening into hydro, and I think hence why I think I haven't seen the hash rate for Bitcoin fall off that much, because there are bigger players out there, industrial, you know, Bitcoin miners that are, you know, investing and expanding into hydro mining. So that's a whole other, you know, conversation. And whether or not on the side of like, oh yeah, you know, the rich are, you know, expanding, getting higher, more expensive models, more efficient ASIC models. Yeah, you know, that's just pushing out home miners. You know, that's one conversation. Another conversation is, yeah, you know, those guys have cheaper power, so they're expanding into hydro, being able to do that. And so it's just, you know, a tax write-off or a business venture for these guys, the bigger players that are, you know, expanding, buying hydro miners. I mean, everything I buy as well, I mean, I run crypto mining as a business as well. So everything I buy or anything I get, hence not the review units. The review units I have to pay taxes on. But anything I buy myself, miners, computers, whatever, I can depreciate it on my taxes. So that's one of the things that a lot of bigger players also do. Okay, guys, I think that's it for this video. My camera is telling me it's overheating, and I've already gone through 3 batteries. So, guys, you let me know your thoughts. I will do a 2 petahash hash power giveaway for 2 hours. Just comment down below if you guys have any similar feelings that I've been feeling that I talked about in this video. I feel like, yeah, it's just a fun time, guys. But I think it's time. I mean, everyone's that's negative right now. It's the time to start accumulating. Maybe not yet, but it's coming, right? We're gonna be in this low time, I think, for maybe a while. Who knows? But just mine within your means and do it in your financial situation that's comfortable for you. Don't just go all in. Okay. I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good one. Peace out. Peace out. Still storing your crypto on exchanges? That's risky. This is the Red Panda Tangent Card. Simple, secure, and built for real self-custody. No seed phrases, no complicated setups. Just tap your card, manage your crypto, and you're in control instantly. Secure chip technology keeps your assets protected, even offline. I've tested a lot of hardware wallets, and this is by far one of the easiest ways to get started. If you want true ownership of your crypto, check out the Red Panda Tangent Card below. Simple, secure, self-custody. Use code RPM for another 10% off. Link in the video description below.